Everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the cut tool. I was going to make this as a YouTube short. I can't. There's so much information to gather from this tool that it's just impossible to keep it under 3 minutes. So this video is a little bit longer, but please bear with me. There's a lot of information to cover, a lot of useful features in this tool. Let's go ahead and head on over to the build plate, take a look at what we're working with. On the build plate, I have a cube that is 18 by 18 by 18 millimeters. In order to access the tool, you can either click on the left-hand side where it has the two little objects with a slice in between it, or you can hit C on your keyboard and it's going to pop up with that tool. And right now you're going to see a plane. The plane is the basic cut function. You have two different modes. You have either a dovetail or a plane. We're going to start out with a plane on here. In order to manipulate how you're going to place the cut, you can either drag it with the sphere going in the Z axis, or you can access the rotating around the X or the Y, depending on what color you grab. Y is obviously green, and X is going to be rotating around the Y or the X axis. Oh, also, I have Rio in here, so if he lands on the microphone, I do apologize. He's feisty today. All right, Rio, say hi. He's lovable. He just has no brain cells in between his eyeballs. Okay, he's a great little companion. Just there's nothing going on up there. Okay, I love you. I really do. Okay, back to the cube. So you can rotate this around the cube, and you can get pretty precise. But a lot of people just want to rotate it 90 degrees or 45 degrees or say 5 degrees. The easiest way to do that is around where the ring is, just like we're discussing with the rotation. You can snap on every 5 degrees. If you are in the inner ring, you're snapping on every 45 degrees. So that is the easiest way to explain how to rotate. On the side, we have the objects to keep. Now you can either cut and keep both objects while both of them are selected, or you can select to have one of them just destroyed upon cutting. Easiest way to do that, unselect box. And now whenever you perform your cut, that one object will disappear. So to display this properly, let's go ahead and show you. All right, so we have the A, it's in teal. This one is going to be kept, and then the other one is going to be destroyed. So let's go ahead and perform the cut. Obviously, you can see, hey, look, it's still there. All right, let's head on back, have that come back. And now let's keep both of them. We don't just want to keep both of them. We want to make sure that wherever that cut is, we are going to print it with the cut side down. So that way, say for instance, you're printing on a glass bed or a smooth surface, you are going to get the best results when it comes to gluing them back together. So what you're going to do, hit place on cut, say for object A, but for object B, you really don't care. So you want to keep it on the current orientation that it's currently at. So now when you hit perform cut, you can see one of them, object A, face side down wherever that plane was, and object B kept its current orientation. Let's go ahead and select that back. And now we're going to reset that plane back to normal. Whenever you go to perform cut and then you need to glue it back together, the hardest thing is making sure everything lines back up. Well, Prusa Slicer made a connectors tab by hitting add connectors, and now you can place these connector spots within the model and it will build it whenever you slice it. So say for instance we want to do a plug. Now a plug is, you have the plug is going to be on one side of the face, and then the other side that was cut off is going to have that gap or that hole to accept the plug. So say for instance we are going to place this one here, and then we're going to place another one here, and now we're going to confirm those plugs. So this time, whenever we perform the cut, let's go ahead and keep current orientation. We are going to rotate it on its side, be 90 degrees. Now, as you can see, you have your plugs. On the opposite side, you have the holes to accept those plugs. Now, when you hit slice, they are going to create those holes. Now, whenever you print that, the hardest part is ensuring that those holes are going to maintain their shape. So that's why a lot of people tend to rotate the objects based upon the features. So let's go ahead and take this first object and we're going to place it side up. So that way the holes are facing up. And same thing with this one. We are going to place it with the plugs facing up. So this way, when they slice, everything's going to line up a lot easier. Now, if your tolerances are lacking and they're a little loose, and you tend to get molten plastic in places where you didn't want them, these holes and plugs are not going to line up perfectly. So you need to adjust the tolerances to the plugs. The easiest way to do that, let me go back to resetting, is under the edit connectors. You can edit the tolerances just a little bit depending on your printer's performance. You can also change the shapes that you've got. Got a triangle. So you've got triangle fit now. Let's go ahead and confirm connectors, place connectors. Now you actually have a triangle in there. And you have different options. You got squares, you got hexagons, and then you can also taper those plugs. Go ahead and head on back, hit edit connector. And in order to taper those plugs, what you do is under the style, go to frustum, and now when you add that object is going to be tapered just a little bit, allowing for better tolerances on your printer whenever you slide it back together to index properly. Okay, so you have options. All right, now let's go ahead and reset everything. Okay, we don't have anything selected. Go ahead and see what a dowel does. The dowel, you notice it didn't build any material up off of that. Reason being is because when you confirm the connector and then you perform cut, what a dowel does creates a hole in both sides. And then it creates an object for that dowel, whatever shape it is, off to the side. So now you have your connector, you have your two pieces, and then you have the holes within those two pieces. And then you could take these objects, rotate them around so that way they print with either side up or side down, however you choose. And when you slice it, now it's just like Legos. It's just putting them together. Okay, so one last thing I want to show you with these different connectors is going to be the snap. Now, with the snap, it's going to add like a plug on one side and a hole on the other. Now, the snap is going to be shaped that way it's outward just a little bit, it has a little bit of tension. So when you confirm that snap, you'll see it still has the hole on the other side, but the snap itself has a small little slit in between. You have to be very careful whenever you're doing something like this, that especially with PLA or PETG, the layer lines are going to be right at the base of that snap. You don't want to add any force to that base area because they will literally pop right off. I tend to not use the snap feature very much, but it is a way where once it's in place, it has a little bit more give uh, to pull it back apart. Sometimes with the plugs, when you have really tight tolerances, get those plugs in there, you push them all together, or the dowels, and you push everything together, they're stuck forever because they're stuck on the layer lines. Sometimes with these snaps, because they flex a little bit, they give and you can pull them apart. All right, now one thing I would like to show you is if you have a weird angle, and the only way to get to that angle is by moving all these arrows around a little bit, and then you have to like move it up and in order to get it that perfect degree. There's a better way to do that. Go ahead and reset everything. If you hold down shift on your keyboard and you are looking at the model at that exact angle that you want it to slice down through, all you got to do, hold shift on your keyboard, and then using your cursor, draw a line and let it go. And now you have that slice through your object at the angle. Let's go ahead and show you one more feature, and that is going to be the dovetail. So head on back over here, hit reset. And then instead of a plane, we're going to add a dovetail. Now, dovetail is really good for sliding objects back and forth into each other whenever they're apart or whenever they're in pieces. You slide them together, and then you can either glue them or just from the fit, they'll bind up on the layer lines, okay, locking everything in place. So now instead of a plane, I have a dovetail, and this dovetail is actually angled just a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate these, or excuse me, we're going to reset these back so that way they're like new. So you can tell on one side, it's the exact same on the other. Instead of having that dovetail even all the way through, you want it to slide in at a specific angle and stop without sliding past center point. To do that, all you're going to do is change the groove angle, and now one side is bigger than the other. So when they slide in, they'll actually stop once they get to that point. You can also change the flap angle. The flap angle is going to be the angle along the side. My advice, don't go anything past 90 degrees, because once you go past 90 degrees, now it's just going to recess in there, and then you're going to have to use glue, which isn't a bad thing. If that's your intent, cool. You can also change the width and then the actual depth. So say you want a really deep valley. Now when we perform our cut, as you can see, you have two pieces and they are going to be perfectly aligned with one another whenever you print them out and you slide them together. All right, everyone. That's it for today's episode. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Do all those things all the other YouTubers tell you to. I'll have my playlist up on the side. Also, I've been making a few shorts. You can just see what you need to see, move on with your day. But if you do like this content, let me know. I would like to keep making it, but the only way to do that is if other people watch it and other people comment. Fly smarter, everyone. I'll see you later.